all so much for coming. It's also going to be filmed, so if you need to check back on anything that I'm going to say, Mrs. Evans is very kindly filming it. We've also got the handout of the smart that I'm using, so please feel free to make any notes on that. And there'll also be an opportunity for questions at the end, but hopefully I'm going to answer most of your questions throughout this morning. So these are just some pictures where we're heading, and I think the video really gives you a really good glimpse of where we're going. This is our third year doing the trip. I've done the trip once, this is Kobe's done the trip once, and this is the first year that we will both be going together. So the adults that will be going on the trip will be Miss Orchin, Mrs. Kobe, and Miss Sadovich, and myself. So it is the adults that your children are used to working with. And we're actually above ratio for the trip. So legally we only have to take 3 adults, but we're taking 4. When we're there, it'll be led by the instructors, but obviously we're the ones that know your children the best, so we'll be present the whole time, we'll get involved in the activities as well. What I want to start with is just giving you a rundown about what each day is going to look like. So the trip starts on Monday the 5th of February. On Monday, your child just comes to school at the normal time, but the main difference will be that they will be in non-uniform and they will have their luggage. I'm going to give you more details on luggage in a moment, but they just need to arrive as normal on Monday. The only thing that's slightly different for those of you whose children usually have a school dinner is they need to bring a packed lunch with them in a plastic bag, because on the first day, lunch isn't provided. That's the only meal that's not provided. So on that day, if you send them with a packed lunch in a plastic bag. We will be taking the 436 at 9:39 travelling to Vauxhall. We'll then get the 10:28 train from Vauxhall to Dorking, and we'll arrive at Dorking at 11:14, where a sold minibus will pick us up. So a minibus that's run by the site. And all of our luggage goes in the back of it, and we're on our way to High Ashurst. We should arrive around midday. They eat their packed lunch that you've provided them with when we arrive. We then get settled into cabins. I'll talk to you more about that in a moment. We then have our first activity, so we're straight in to an activity, and it will be one of the activities that you have seen. We'll then have dinner. Then on the first evening, we'll have an evening activity, which is a night walk and a bonfire. So we have that on the first evening, and then it's time for bed. On the Tuesday, we get up with breakfast, we have the first activity, we then lunch, we do another activity, it's then dinner, we then have an evening activity, and then it's time for bed. The evening activity on the Tuesday is slightly different, so it's not run by the centre, it's going to be run by us as their adults. It might be something like some games in the hall, but that will be run kind of by the school, that one. So activity by the centre on the Monday, activity by school on the Tuesday. Then on the Wednesday we get up, we do a final activity, so as you can see we're really cramming lots of activities in. We'll then have an early lunch before getting the 12 o'clock minibus again to Dorking station, and then at 12:32 we get the train from Dorking to Vauxhall, and we should return to school about 2 o'clock. Mrs. Collymore is more than happy, if you want to collect your child at 2, you absolutely can. If you can't, work constraints, other childcare issues, that is absolutely fine. We can keep them in school till half day. So we can keep them in, we'll pop something on the screen, and that's absolutely fine. Also, on Thursday the 8th of February, you are welcome to have a bit of a softer start. So we did this last year after the Royal Albert Hall, where the children were able to just come in a little bit later. Myself and Mrs. Cody will be their normal time, so if you need your child here in the morning, they absolutely can be. And we'll do a breakfast like we normally do, but it'll be a bit of a softer start for them on Thursday. But as long as they're in by around break time on Thursday, so around 11 o'clock, that's fine. But I'll leave that decision up to you. School is here, school will be open normal time as usual, but if you'd like them to have a bit of a later start after a busy week, then you absolutely can. In terms of cabins that I mentioned, there will be 2 cabins, and this is a floor plan of what the cabin looks like. So you come in the hall, and then this is kind of like a lounge area. Both of the cabins are identical. There's kind of like a living room, kitchen, things like that. And then there's a corridor, and then the rooms run off it. In each cabin, there is an adult room here and here. So there will be 2 adults in each cabin. In terms of sharing rooms, your children will give me and Mrs. Povey a list of 4 names, and we ask them to give us 4 names. We can guarantee that they will be in a room with at least one of those people. So they will definitely be in a room with at least one of the people on their list. We obviously know the dynamics of the group really well. I'm sure you can appreciate kind of the intricacies of this and how difficult it is to make sure that everyone's happy in their room. So I really need you to work with us on that. And we will not be telling the children who they're sharing a room with until we arrive. Because if we tell them sooner, it causes drama. So we'll tell them when you arrive, I will deal with the fallout, you don't have to. Just in case they're kind of wondering who will be in a room with, I promise you, your children will be in a room with someone they'll be happy with. They will be in a room with at least one of their really good friends. You know, they make my week a lot harder if I put them in a room with someone they don't get on with, so please don't worry about that. 2 cabins, boys cabin, girls cabin, you can literally see them. 2 adults in each cabin, so there'll be 2 adults in the boys cabin, 2 adults in the girls cabin. The rooms are lovely, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about the rooms now. The expectations of the centre is that we keep these cabins immaculate, and we know what they expect now. When they arrive, they will have to make their own bed. So when they arrive, they have to put the sheet on the mattress, they have to put the duvet in the duvet cover. I got caught short on this on the first trip, which was obviously me making about 30 beds. So if you could support your child, if they don't already know how to do that, I'm sure lots of them do, but if they don't already know how to do that, please help them with that, so that when they arrive, they feel confident, and that they can put the sheet on the mattress, that they can put the duvet in the cover. Obviously, we'll be on hand if they need us to, but it's a massive help if they can already do that. And also just have a chat with them about organisation. Okay, when you get there, how are you going to organise yourself? You're going to put your pyjamas under your pillow, where are you going to put your wash bag, things like that. Again, we're there to support them with that, but just so they've got a bit of a heads up about that, that would be amazing. They absolutely cannot bring a phone, they cannot bring a camera, they cannot bring anything that connects to the internet. This is to keep them safe, ultimately, but also, in the world that your children are growing up with, they don't get to experience just being outside. They don't get to experience not having the internet at the touch of a button. And so they can absolutely not bring anything that connects to the internet, and we are adamant on that. So don't think that they can sneak a bag in their phone. Please check their bags, because there will be consequences if they bring a phone with them. Like I said, it's for safety ultimately, but also it's just a chance for them to switch off from a blue screen for 3 days. They can absolutely bring a book with them. I would actually recommend them to bring a book with them, so they can do some reading before bed. What I really need all of us to be on the same page about is that school journey is a privilege, it's not a right. So there is nowhere in legislation that I need to take your children away, that I need to put them to bed for 2 evenings, but we want to, because we see the massive difference it makes in their lives. But if they're not following instructions in school, if they're being disrespectful to adults in school, and not bringing them on school journey, your money will be refunded, and that will be a conversation that you can have with Mrs. Holloway. Don't put us in that position. We talk to children about this. We don't want to do that. I will not be happy if I'm not bringing 29 with me, because I can see how brilliantly they will all do on school journey, and I'm so excited about it. But they need to hear from us and you that if they're not following instructions in school, they're not coming on school journey. That won't be the night before you get a phone call from me saying they're not coming. You'll obviously be aware of that in advance. But just if Miss Hodgson, if Mrs. Povey, I know it's not me very often anymore, it's continually having conversations with you about following instructions, the chances of school journey aren't great. So please just stay on the same page with us about that. This is printed on the page in front of you. This is just an idea of what to pack. And I shared some of this information with you way back last year when we had this initial meeting. This is on the website, but this is also what I think having been there. Again, first year there, I wasn't as prepared as I could have been. And the children were wearing beautiful matching tracksuits in lovely neutral colours, and it's just not the one you've seen. It is like the jungle. It is dirty. They will get dirty. They will be cold. So they recommend that they bring 2 jumpers with them, that they bring 3 pairs of trousers, not jeans, that they bring 3 long sleeve t-shirts, that they bring outdoor boots. So when I say outdoor boots, I mean ones that you can walk in, you can kind of go to a forest in. I absolutely recognise that they are expensive, or they can be expensive, and I absolutely recognise that you might think you're never going to wear them again. So if you can't get them outdoor boots, old pairs of trainers, 2 old pairs of trainers, 3 old pairs of trainers, as many as they can carry really, which I will talk to you about in a moment, and they will get muddy. And I found when I was there, it was my feet let me down because it was cold. And when I had my boots on, I was fine. When I had trainers on, I was really cold. They need a warm coat, they need some waterproofs, so ideally waterproof trousers as well. Hand gloves, water bottle, and a packed lunch for the first day. They also need to bring with them a towel and a wash kit. So toothbrush, toothpaste, shampoo, shower gel, deodorant, moisturiser, whatever they need. Slippers are really useful in the cabins because they can't wear their trainers in the cabin. So the trainers are too dirty to be in the cabin. They get left on the porch, so they need something to change into. Slippers, pair of Crocs, slides, anything like that. Any medication, now this is different if we have medication for your child already, because we obviously have that. So any EpiPens and healers that we have in school, that's fine, we'll bring those with us. If your child might need additional medication, so if you know that if they get a headache they need Calpol, if you think, oh, they're going to need a Piriton and I don't have those in school, we will have some forms that we'll send home for your children today, which is a permission medication form, if you want us to have any extra medication for them. So it's kind of like if they get a headache in school and I get Stacey to ring home and say, can you give them some Calpol? We essentially have that permission from you in advance. This needs to be with the team. Don't worry about this till long after Christmas. But any medication you want us to take for them needs to be with us in advance with the permission form. Again, that's separate to EpiPens and healers. We've got all that covered. We've got all the permission for that already. What would be really useful is if they have a torch, again for the night walk. We're not going to send them into the dark without one if they don't have a torch, but if they have a torch, that would be really helpful. It can be a hand torch or a head torch, whatever they have. Pyjamas, warm ones, they'll really look forward to getting into those in the evening. Underwear and socks, 1 book, not loads of books if they're going to be carrying themselves, and if they want to bring a company toy, they absolutely can. That is no problem at all. This is really important. They should pack their own bags and know where everything is, because we will be in a position to be able to tell them where things are in their bags because we've obviously not packed them either, so please involve them in that process. If you could also bring 1 bin bag with you, so muddy and dirty clothes can go in the bin bag, and children must be able to carry their own luggage. So that might be a backpack that they can carry on their back. That might be a wheelie case, that's fine, but they need to be able to lift that wheelie case up train stairs. Because again, I would love to carry all of it, but I can't. So it's that idea of, no, I know how to carry my case. Again, we're there to help them. We're not going to leave anyone stranded at Vauxhall Station. But it's just being aware of, no, I can put this on my back, I can carry this. So just support them with that and the lead up as well. Fully aware of just giving you loads of information. You might need some time to process it. We'll be checking in about school journey. There'll be messages coming through the app. I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited that at present we're all going, which is so lovely. Because often when children don't go, when people come back, they feel a little bit left out. So it's really lovely. We're sitting at 29 going, which we're really excited about. It's a fantastic trip. The instructors are great. They're really adamant about listening, naturally, because they're up in the air quite a lot of the time. But they're really good fun and great experience to work with children from all types of backgrounds, all sorts of needs. But again, the adults that know your children the best are going with them. And we're going to have an absolutely fantastic time. And again, it's just that partnership from you that we're all on the same page. We all want them to go, we all want them to have a fantastic time, so let's get them there because February will not be long coming round.